Hello friends and welcome back to another video. We know it's been a long time since we've had a video like this where we're talking to you guys, and besides me we have Strider. Hello friend.
Hello, my friend. Good to be here. I'm excited for this one. It's going to
Yeah,
be it's going to be interesting with you.
interesting, very interesting, and I'm sure it's going to cause a lot of discussion. So a few months ago, as you can tell, we released this on Instagram, Twitter, all our pages, that Fellowship fans has been made aware of a long-term plan carried out over roughly the last 6 months by the production and team members of the Rings of Power to release and spread false rumors pertaining to season 2. And for this first part, we want to confirm even though we've finished our investigation, it seems like we can't, even though we have investigated, it's near impossible to be able to decipher whether it's come from the top people at Amazon or not, because that's only a couple of people, and getting that information would mean it's so easy for Amazon to know who said that. So we don't know whether this is like a plan made by someone at the top highest ranked producers, or it's just people within the production who are just going a bit rogue and want to try and do this. So, but we do know that this was in fact something that I've seen evidence of this being a thing within the production, and it's happened in so many productions for shows. And of course, maybe it was coming because for our track record for season 1 was pretty reliable, which is why, for example, you're watching today because of that. But continuing, due to this revelation, we'll be halting all our releases, and if we misreported anything. And from what we understood, and we've had this reconfirmed since then, because this was at the start of the investigation, this is two things: to catch out leakers who are leaking in the crew, and also to get some information out there which was wrong. We got really interesting information in that. And then we did end up getting back to you guys I think it was about a few weeks later, where we are delighted to confirm that our investigation into false leaks and incorrect information we were pretty good in the end. So basically what happened is we had new sources that came in and were able to just to confirm, and these are stronger sources, able to confirm and deny what was right, what was wrong, and were able to separate what was misinformation and what wasn't, and that was really helpful. So now we are really confident, and I'd say almost certain, though we still don't, of course, never know, but that's how confident we are in this. And we, even though we did, as you can see, end up getting one wrong, we are still happy that out of, basically, we categorize all our leaks into 14 main headline leaks, and 13 out of 14 are correct. But of course, we are also in this video looking at leaks and rumors from other places, from other outlets, from Reddit, from 4chan. So we're not just covering ours, but from the ones we did, 13 out of 14 were correct. But for the ones we got wrong, there is some links with the other outlets as well, because there's a big interesting thing revolving behind this that we were able to discover during our investigation. So we are happy again. We're happy with the new source now that the information we're putting out is correct. So essentially what we have here, we can now go through all the leaks by one, confirm which ones are right. Then of course by the end we'll get to which one is wrong. So of course we know everyone who watches is going to be tell us straight away which one is the wrong scoop and leak, and we understand that. Of course, you may be even annoyed that I was talking this much right now. We will get to that. We're going to spend about 5 to 10 minutes just going through all the leaks, so one by one we'll be counting down which one is correct. So yep, Strider, that sound good? Anything you want to add or anything?
I mean, I think you covered everything actually really well. I think we had a great track so far. I don't think we ever actually got it out. I know we were talking about it, but regarding like our statistics for season 1 scoops, and I mean we had like 95 plus I think percentage of correct news, and I think for season 2 it's actually pretty much on point as well, even though this one bit it's an important
Is
one. But
yeah.
I think, yeah, overall, hey, this is not an exact science, and we are just we are a group of fans, just doing some things that are interesting to us, and like I think doing something like this, it's mistakes are bound to happen at some point, and the fact that we actually did so well so far, honestly, is beyond any realistic expectations.
And
So the fact that
also,
this happens,
yeah.
yeah, the fact that this
Yeah.
happens, hey, you live and learn, and we just move on to the next one. So yeah,
Mhm.
I think it's going to be interesting to discuss all of this.
And I also think this also kind of confirms I've seen so many countless YouTube videos, people on Twitter all saying, "Oh, we got our scoops and information from Amazon themselves." I think this kind of like refutes that was ever the case, and that our reporting has always been from independent people of the Amazon, let's say marketing or like their PR or their corporate teams. This has always been independent, and that's why, of course, this has happened, and we're able to uncover this. So yeah, that would again, yep, explain yeah, why you got that wrong. So yeah, it's good to at least now have that people see that as well. So that makes sense. So yeah, I think Stride, you hit the nail on the head around all that as well. And I think the one thing I want to say before we move on to this, the most important thing for me is that even though yeah, we did get this one wrong, we are still the ones who are coming out and like doubling up on it and saying we were the ones who found out that it was wrong. So at least it wasn't another site outlet or like Amazon themselves, or in the trailer we see it. So we're happy that at least we're the ones
Yeah,
who are able to spot it out. Because if not, then yeah, it may have been a bit embarrassing. But okay, I feel that's enough from us now. I feel like let's just get right into which
let's
scoops
go.
are
Yeah,
correct. And let's start off with Kevin Olden is Navi. So yes, this is a true leak. And with that, so we know for a fact he is playing Navi. Okay, I need to be careful with saying for fact, but let's say 99.9% we believe this to be a case. And then just go moving along, we'll just add also
until we see all of these things
yes.
on the screen, there's
Yeah.
always going to be like a 1% of doubt.
Yeah.
But yeah, this is it.
This is yeah, we got these reconfirmed by these news sources that that did not confirm, or sorry, that spotted out our one wrong leak. And of course, with that, Calibrimbo and Navi create the doors of doing. So yes, Strider, quickly 1 minute. We are finally seeing Navi in season 2. How do you feel?
Cool. I mean, I think we need more fleshing out of everybody, and having Narvi show up, and then to see, and hopefully we do really see like a decent chunk of Celebrimbor and Narvi working together, becoming actually friends. Um, yeah, I think this is good news. I think it's going to be really nice, and I hope we get to see a lot of this. I will never stop ranting about the fact that the show is actually so short, like 8 episodes with like barely an hour of time to cover everything. So yeah, hopefully they do this relationship right.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, we are going. I'm also seeing the doors doing. Yeah, I'm so excited to see that as well. So yeah, moving on to the next one. I don't remember what it is. It is Shelob. Yes, Shelob is also a part of the Rings of Power season 2, but it's good to mention is briefly, and she's not appearing as a woman either. We're gonna see her in creature form. So yes, Strider, we're seeing her Shelob, but as in a creature form, not as a woman. How do you feel about that?
I'm very sad actually. I was hoping Eva Green might show up or something in the show, but I'm joking, of course. I mean, Shelob appearing there does make sense, but I think it's going to be a very interesting challenge on how they will actually put her on screen. So it's been now like a couple of years since I actually read the Lord of the Rings, like the books. I just finished the Silmarillion for the 15th time or something, but it's been a while since I read the books, and I cannot remember. Um, I think that Shelob also kind of speaks in a way.
Mm-hmm.
I think she has like this ability. I'm pretty
Indeed.
sure. So, but the interesting thing in the movies, she doesn't. I don't think she does speak there. So it's going to be
No.
interesting how they will actually put this on screen, and if they will give her like this
Yeah.
intelligent, like kind of like the ability to speak and to communicate. Yeah, it's interesting that she will be there. Makes absolute sense, but I think there's going to be some interesting challenges regarding putting that on screen. So yeah, it's going to be
Yeah.
interesting.
Indeed, yep. So from what I understand, it is going to be quite short, but we will see her on screen for a fact. Yes, yes, yes. But moving on. Okay, let's explain this one. So yes, we can confirm now that Anatar is a code name. Sorry, not code name, an actual character name for the Rings of Power season 2. It is listed, and he's for us, for we understand, he's listed as a creature. And from what we understand from our news sources, after a long time of confusion, almost 8 months, original form Sauron equals Anatar. So that's what we finally been able to understand. So I guess that is something I think which kind of makes sense. Of course, we reported that Gavi is the original form Sauron, so it'll be interesting to see how that plays out. But yeah, at least right now, stride about the fact that we have an Anatar confirmation, at least a character name, and that he will be in the show. We've heard quite a lot of interesting things about him. That, by the way, after this episode's out, there will be a full article going through everything more than we've talked about in today's thing because we don't have enough time. There'll be a full article which will be debriefing everything. So make sure once this finishes, go over there to read it on our site. We'll link it everywhere. I just wanted to put that in early so people remember. But sorry, yeah. So we finally having Anatar and Eregion in season 2. How do you feel about that?
Anatar is a key part of the story of the rings. It's right there in the exact core of the story. So I will hold my I will hold out my hopes on this one, as in having a character actually called Anatar. I really hope that that's true. I just cannot wait until I see it on the screen, until I hear it. I'm just not going to fully believe it. But
Yeah.
either way, having Sauron in any shape, form,
Yeah.
however it is called, in a region, helping out with the rest of the
Yeah.
rings, even though they kind of messed up the way the rings are made and so on. The three rings were supposed to be the last ones and so on. But anyway,
Yeah.
having
No,
him
it.
there in the role of in the role that is, if not called Anatar, still the Anatar role in the story is absolutely essential for this story, for the show. So it's good news. I'll just hold out
Yeah.
my hope on the name
Mhm.
exactly until I
Yeah.
hear it. But yeah,
Yeah.
it's good
So
news.
yeah, we don't know whether he's
It's key news.
heard, but we know that it's in production documents. So it is like they got the rights to that. So they got rights to Anatar, but whether they actually execute that, that's something we don't have information of. Just on whether he is actually physically called Anatar, we know that there is a Sauron
Yeah.
form in Eregion. That's the best way to split all that up. But let's go a bit faster now. Shall we? Galadriel gets captured by Adar. A very weird thing that people initially thought was weird. It might end up being things. Because I know people use the argument, "Oh, well, we released Meteor Man." Everyone was like, "What the hell is that?" But then looking back, everyone's like, "Oh, it end up actually being not that bad." But this is initially something that is a bit strange, and because it's something that's not really in the books, we won't really cover that in too much detail. Except that you guys now know that Galadriel gets captured by Adar is true. Another one, post-production completed by June 2024. That was not misinformation either. That is indeed happening. And another big thing, so in Numenor, there will be a massive disaster at the end of the season, something that will just disrupt everything for all the characters going into season 3. So this is
Yeah, I think
interesting
that this
because,
one is a bit odd.
yeah.
But actually, yeah, you
Go
can
ahead.
finish the thought first. Sorry.
No, I'm saying, say this is, we know, of course, there's a downfall of Numenor, but they're doing something else as a disaster a bit beforehand. So do you think maybe it could be foreshadowing?
Yeah, that's why it's odd, like having two disasters at the same time when we already had Miriel have that like vision of the wave.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's a bit odd that we are having this again, but I guess like if they maybe do it like as another bit of foreshadowing,
Yeah.
fine. I can see that working out, I guess. But if there's like an actual another like other type of disaster happening, I don't know, like an earthquake or whatever, like a comet
Yeah. I
striking
know
Numenor
this
or something
is,
like
yeah.
it's just gonna be strange a bit.
And we
I don't
can
know.
yeah, and we can also confirm. I know you actually mentioned something that might some people might actually raise, which is could there's be another flashback or vision. But the reason we know that's not the case is that later on, well, following this event, we know that it's the reason. Sorry, spoilers ahead. I'll show you. You're watching a video on spoilers. I don't know why I'm saying that. That's what gets Elendil to leave the city of Numenor. Not city of Numenor, the city, whatever it is, Mandalos, whatever that. It's a combination of different cities at this point. That's what gets him to
Yeah, they
leave
put them together.
Numenor and go to the west, um, the west coast or east coast, whatever. And also with that, we can also confirm that we've been hearing this for ages, for so long, but Anarion is not in season 2 either. So I actually got that reconfirmed to me yesterday as well, which is quite Um, Interesting. Say no, not really in season 2 either. So, Strider, thoughts on that?
That's, I don't know what's happening with the story, honestly. Like, how the hell do we not have Anarion on the show yet? Like, he
Yeah,
was supposed to be there for season one. I mean, I love Arian. I hope she also gets
yeah,
a lot of way more screen time because I think there's a lot of room for some cool story there. But like to have like this is injustice towards this character because he was cut out from the movies. Like he's completely cut out from the movies.
yeah.
Not once. Actually, there is one single mention. Denethor says, "I'm a steward of the House Anarion" or something like that.
Mhm.
But otherwise, like it's just injustice towards the character. So to have him
Yeah,
absent for like 2/5 of this show, like I don't know what's happening. This is very strange. I don't know. I
yeah.
hope they, I hope that there's a good reason for that. But honestly, it's very surprising. Yeah. And also
Indeed.
just one quick bit of theory. I don't know if what this disaster might be. I wonder. This is purely my speculation. Harry has a way better overview of what we actually know as like leaks and so on. But just pure speculation on my part. What if this disaster maybe isn't like a natural disaster? What if maybe it is like some kind of like a clash between um, Farazon, who maybe becomes our Farazon in the second season, and then Kingsmen become way more pronounced. And maybe what if there's like a clash between the faithful
Mhm.
and the Kingsmen? Maybe this is what
Um,
relates
that
to.
could be something that might cause it, but I don't know how much you can say actually. But all I'd say for
Well,
right
you don't
now
have to.
is
This is
that
just
it's more. No, I
purely
don't.
my
All I'd
theory.
say, yeah, no. All I'd say is no. That could be what causes the thing, but it's more close to
Uh,
the image you can see on screen right now. I feel like that's where we'll leave the hint for now. So yeah, but maybe that tension and build up, which is, by the way, the Faithful versus the Kingsman is a big part of season 2. So I'm sure you've had that from other sources as well. But
yeah.
that is a big thing as well. But yeah,
All right.
it's more closer to what you can see on screen right now. But yes, let's get through these quickly now. So what's the next one? This will skip to this one. Yes, she's a human character. Selena Lowe is a warrior elf. This is also true. We'd be able to confirm this. So she's going to be elf, who's part of the battle charge, which I think's around Eregion or something. But yeah, she's going to be part of a battle charge with, I think everyone's in there. Forgot who else. But yeah, that's pretty cool. Season 2 will premiere in 2024, late 2024. We can confirm that again. That's never not going to be the case. I think we were the only outlet throughout the whole time, across even in Lord of the Rings community and in wide entertainment and even in the trades, the only ones who were saying season 2 will still premiere in 2024. And looks
Mhm.
like again now that is going to be the case. So yeah, we're able to confirm that as well. Ronda will be at the 2-episode battle. This is something we can confirm as well. If that, Strider, any thoughts on that?
Could you remind me what was his ending in season one? I cannot actually remember where
They
we
end
leave him away.
him. Um, Gosh, I haven't watched the show in like a year and a half, 2 years. I think he ends up on a mountain with Bonman. I'd say. I think they're going to go to Pelage. That's where I think they're
Yeah,
going
I
to.
think they were all going together.
Yeah,
So I think having him there, um, uh, one of the biggest issues with season one was how small the world felt.
yeah,
So I hope there's a really good reason why Arondir is in this
true.
huge battle at the end. Because
The
obviously he's the main character, so he has to be there. He's one of the main characters from season one,
yeah,
so we have to have him there. But like, why? How?
yeah.
So I'm
The
just curious
only
how they will make this work.
hmm I was doing a little thought experiment with that. I think the only real theory I have is that maybe, of course, we got the actually no, we didn't get those images. Sorry, we got images of Isildur in the forest. Do you remember from? I of course know Isildur and Elrond are in the same storyline. So maybe because we know Pelag is more southern, is on the coast, and maybe it could be like he spots the armies going towards Eregion if they leave from Mordor, and then he's
Yeah,
doing
he was
that
gonna pull an
Aragon
Aragorn.
thing
Yeah,
from the two towers where he goes like him, and then yeah, he goes all the way. So
yeah,
maybe that is one.
could be, could be.
Yeah, but yeah. So nothing else to say on this one, but except yeah, it's happening. So, well, 99.9% happening. Sorry, should get into the habit of saying that. But yeah, um, another big one that people got excited about, Emilia Kenworthy will be an evil ally to Sauron and Adar. So very interesting on this one.
It is.
Yeah, is how what role she's going to be playing in season
Yeah,
two.
I think one of the worst rumors I've heard is this is the rebellious Calabrian or something, and then even like the worst part of that was like just having her with, I don't know, like a thing with sour. I just cannot even say it. It's yeah, I
um,
don't know. It's going to be very interesting. I'm actually hoping that she might end up being like not an equivalent, but kind of like the Adar figure as well. Like maybe she's like the mother. I think that would be a very cool maybe addition to this little Moriondor lore that they created around the orcs in
yeah,
season one. So that's kind of where I'm placing it. But it's an interesting bit of
yeah.
news.
So yeah, I'm sure some people might be excited by that. Some people might be a bit reserved, like you, a little bit were, depending on what character she might end up being. But it is quite
Yeah, you know,
interesting. Yeah,
in the end, this is entertainment, and
yeah,
I'm just rooting for whatever scenario is the most entertaining for the most people, for the biggest number of people. So
yeah.
you know,
And maybe that's not always the die-hard Tolkien fan as well. So yeah, we'll never know. So yeah. So we've I feel like the next one, oh sorry, this one as well. Jamie Biskin plays the elf clan racer Kilenwe. It's an original character elf for season two, but it's one that is, I feel like something will be a good comparison for Kilenwe for from an elf in season one. Um,
I got nothing.
he will have more of a role than who was Simon Morell's character? Do you know who I'm on about? The one who was on the
Ah,
tower with the
yeah,
one day. Him.
yeah,
I
yeah.
actually quite
The
liked him.
commander,
Yeah.
he was great. Like
Command.
I think
Yeah, he was.
it was a huge
Yeah,
waste of such an actor
yeah.
to
He
have
was actually
him
the
there for like.
closest, one of the closest to an elf. I felt like that was in the show. Like I don't say like aura, right? Aura wise. So like yeah, something who a bit
Absolutely,
more of a role than him.
he was an amazing elf.
Yeah,
Like seriously, that's such a waste
yeah.
of honestly
Imagine.
of an actor. Like he was a bad, like he was really cool. He was, yeah.
Yeah.
So I don't know, like I think I don't know how big of a role Kalenve has, but
It's
yeah,
around that. I feel like if we
he
had to
might
make a
have around that
judgment, yeah,
kind of
that's a good
role.
judgment. Yeah. It's enough that it's not like something like just like a really like remember that guy who gave a scroll to Galadriel? Like he just like had
Yeah,
probably like no name, but there's someone that's actually listed like pretty high up. So yeah, interesting. And the next one is Stranger and Nori will go east and meet a wizard. So, and of course, wizard slash magical figure. So they're going to meet someone who's going to help um, the stranger. Of course, some people mention it could be blue wizard. Some people mention it could be maybe like a mage or magical figure from like, Rune. So many different things that could entail. We're not confirming if it's in a story or not because, again, we don't know. So we don't want to put out a limb and say that. We just know that someone's going to be helping the stranger when he goes east.
yeah,
Or
like
maybe,
Yoda or Mr. Miyagi or someone.
yeah, yeah, which is a funny relationship. I know Kathy really likes this one, so shout out to
Yeah, I
her for
mean,
that. Yeah,
we didn't hear shout out to Kathy. We didn't hear a
yeah,
lot of news about this bit of the story. So
yeah.
this is interesting. I
They're
honestly,
doing good.
I think this is a very curious storyline for me that I'm really
Mhm.
interested to see where they're going to go with this because it's a very made up storyline which they had
Yeah,
to, I guess, made up because it's just not touched at all. So let's see
facts.
where they're
Yeah,
going to go with the Eastar storyline.
yeah. So now I feel like we're gonna start getting into the place where we start like unconfirming some things. So I feel like the first one is that Celeborn will be going into Region as Sauron. So we wouldn't, but we're not disconfirming. Sorry, I keep saying disconfirming. That's not even a word. We're not saying that the Celeborn Sauron, sorry, the Celeborn Cameron stuff is wrong. We're just saying that the Celeborn will go into Region as Sauron. We're just putting it all into one. So, yeah. So, from what we understand as of right now, this is not the case, right? How does that make you feel?
Uh, so this, so what this is saying actually is that Sauron will not be going to Eregion as
Yeah,
Celeborn.
yeah, that's it. That's it.
Um,
This is the statement that people that was said out there, and with this, the X is like saying that is not true. So yeah,
yeah. So I mean, for one, I think that's good. I don't want to have uh, Sauron posing as Galadriel's dead husband or that
yeah,
husband, quote unquote, and just like getting some more telenovela drama.
mhm,
Yeah, I think it's good news. You know,
yeah,
like him somehow using this, like he used Finrod in season one
yeah,
for like some kind of scene like that. Perhaps that could work, but
yeah.
I think we're good. Like I don't think we need to mess
Or it
with
could be
Galadriel in
like
this way
she
anymore.
has
So
flashbacks. Sorry, no, I'll cut that out. Sorry, I don't know where I was going with that. No, yeah, I'll go back to it. Yeah, I thought that's correct. Yes, right. So we'll have to wait and see with that one. But the next one, Sauron has a son, is not true either. Fortunately for people who wanted that to be true, and I think a majority of people did not. So yeah, we can come out and now confirm,
yeah,
thanks to our sources, that this, I forgot where it's from, Reddit or 4chan, wherever it
I
was,
don't
or
know.
Spawn, I don't
I
know
don't know where
where.
it's from.
Yeah, it is wrong.
Yeah,
It is not the
it
case. We
is
can.
as it should be. Like I mean, I think
Yeah.
Tolkien did have these ideas of like, for example, Valar having like
Mhm.
offspring. I think Eolve, who is like the right hand of Manwe, I think he was at some version supposed to be Manwe's son, but in the end he wasn't son. So I think there's one singular named character or ever mentioned character who was the offspring of Maya, and that's Luthien. And I honestly don't think we need to add this bit of
Yeah.
to this bit of canon anything. I think this is good news,
Mhm.
really good news.
Yeah. And then I feel like the next one, oh shit, the wrong one. Sorry. Excuse my language. Music of the Ino prologue, again, something people actually were looking quite forward to, maybe, but we can confirm is not the case. So they don't have the rights to this. By the way, there's no chance this was ever going to happen, anyways. But yeah, Shredder, you sad about
Yeah.
that, or nothing? You'd be like,
I mean, I think this is uh, it would be. I hope to see this this part of the lore of the mythology of Tolkien done well at some point on the screen. But I don't think this show is going to do this. I don't think it would just fit with the overall vibe of the show. Like
Mhm.
I don't think it would add anything to it. Even though it would be amazing to see it, I do actually think, and it's super underrated, and I nobody talks about it, or like rarely anybody talks about it. But like I think that one of the best parts of the show was actually the intro, like with the Howard Shore's music and like the main theme of the show, which actually was kind of like the music of Ainur in a way. And I think it was done beautifully, where we see creation of all these things and like music shaping, creating shapes and so on. So I think that's enough of the music of Ainur for this show, and I think that bit was done perfectly, and we don't need any more of that. So
Mhm.
yeah,
Indeed, I agree with
not too
that. I
bad,
feel like
not too
yeah,
disappointed.
cool. Yeah, I feel like you don't want to depict almost undepictable, or as of at least
Yeah,
right now, you don't want to touch something that's so
yeah.
Mhm.
I don't think it would just fit with the show. I think this needs to be like very like kind of like as an esoteric thing, and this is not that type of show. This is not that type of like a story that we are witnessing. So I think it's best left out than just done in some weird way that
Yeah.
doesn't work.
Indeed, indeed, I agree. I think then the next one, I think we'll have to. So we can confirm that Tom Bombadil is indeed in the show. I'm sure we're confirming that what's been out there for about a year now. So it's like Godfather, like I forgot who Torn or Doctor No is. One of them posted a while back, but we can confirm that from us that yes, he is part of the show,
Yeah,
and no, he is not Morgoth. Because I know we should even mention that, but still, I was seeing on Twitter yesterday people quote retweeting our tweets saying, "Yeah, but if they're doing this Tom Bombadil is Morgoth stuff, that's going to be really like that is
they're
not the
not
case."
like this is
That is
that's by far. I don't think there's a more stupid thing one
Yeah.
could do with a talking show than put Tom Bombadil and make him be
Yeah.
like a reincarnation of Morgoth or something, and then his
Yeah.
wife Goldberry as like Goliath. Like that Reddit post was
And I
done
feel
by
like,
someone
yeah,
who, in my
we
opinion, was
can.
done someone by who maybe read the Silmarillion, kind of knows the lore, has been following the stories about the show, and just decided to troll everybody by putting like
Yeah.
a couple of very very likely to happen theories that already internet is kind of adopting as true, and then just put like these little weird things. Like I mean, Tom Bombadil as Morgoth is just
Yeah.
the best,
I
the funniest thing I've ever
so
heard.
and that with the horse episode as well. I'm like, oh my god, it's like, and I feel like
Yeah,
at this point,
that's
I feel like this getting to this point pretty much I think confirms, at least from our part, yeah, that Reddit post that got re-reported was basically crap, all of it. So
yeah.
so yeah,
But
that's
it's going to be
good.
interesting to see Tom Bombadil in the show. I'm
Oh yeah.
unsure how he's going to fit there. Honestly, if I was making the show, I would just not even think about putting him in there because he's just this whole little weird subplane of existence that just fitting him into the world of Middle Earth as it's like this whole grand story. He's great, and he should be, for example, he should be in the Lord of the Rings. But fitting him here, it just feels like we could have spent more time working on actually like the main characters. So I don't know. Let's see.
Mhm.
Again, let's see what ends up being in the show. Who knows? But it's interesting how I'm very curious how they're gonna do this one.
No, yeah, I agree, and it's just something that either is going to make people very happy or very, very sad. And we have to decide whether it's like fan service or not as well. Is another discussion to be had. Um, but I feel like this next one is the final one, which is wrong, and I think now people can guess which one it is. And I will go through a whole explanation of how this happened and how it came to be. So
Let me get my
the
popcorn.
one, yeah, the one that was wrong in the end is that Gaby is Sauron, and you're gonna be like, how is that in the world wrong? I will go through it now. So first off, you want to say that let's start off with this. So first of all, who is Gaby playing? So well, from what we understand, Gaby is playing. Let me just get it up one sec. He's playing a character from a new race not yet seen in the Rings of Power to date. So he's not a character part of any group that we saw in season one. So he's from none of the Elven groups. He is not from any of the Numenorian. He's not Numenorian. He is it's actually quite a mystery as to what he is. He is not any of the people, human tribes, but so yeah, he is not a person that is from anywhere that's been seen in season one. From that much we can confirm. We still have some more rumors, but we'll explain that. Let me explain that quickly in a way. So, how has this come to happen? And I feel like let's start off with this. So, from our investigation that discussed that there's a long-term plan carried out over roughly the last 6 months to spread false rumors. And from what we understand in the production after our investigation, one of the biggest things that they were trying to spread false information about is Sauron, because that's one of the most sensitive things with Rings of Power, but also because they've been trying to actually test something. So that is the reason why also where is it here? That is also the reason why this came out, which didn't come from 4chan. It came from various different people. We've heard it from various different people, like Kerborn is Sauron, and that also that Gaby is Sauron. Because from what we've heard from multiple different production members since and some of our news sources, sorry, let me get up here. So, which is why this is wrong. That Celeborn is Sauron. That is wrong, and but that did get out there independent of 4chan. It came through different, we've heard from sources, other outlets heard it from different sources, same people heard it. And the reason, and that's why after we reported it, some people came out confirming it, because that's what they had heard. But the reason this alongside that is wrong is because people in production have stated that Amazon be wanted to test waters and see if the public will enjoy multiple forms of Sauron. And by Amazon, that's a quite wide range. There's more production members in the show. So they have been trying to get information out there and see how you fans and the public reaction would be towards multiple forms of Sauron, and also almost preparing audiences for that. And that is why two wrong scoops ended up getting through the thing. And it was quite well planned for once we've gone through it. And that's again, now there's going to be a whole article once this video ends, which explains the whole investigation, what we found out, and like how this even came to be. And from what I can summarize right now, about April last year is when we heard that from people in London that Gaby is Sauron. But then we'd also heard from March 2023, which then they're filming in Tenerife, that Gaby was actually on the Tenerife sets. And then we can't confirm either. But again, back to the fact that he is, well, from what we do know, someone who is from a race not yet seen, a race / groups of people not yet seen in season 1. Maybe he is from Rune, who knows? It does kind of match up. Again, we're not confirming that. But people in the production of the Rings of Power have been, loads of people, once we reached out to them and told them this was wrong, they were shocked because they had been told the same thing. It was a wide range plan from some people within the production to get this information out there. And again, the article explained all that. But Strider, what's your reaction to that? People within, this was planned, have this and this get out there in a way, and probably some other stuff, just to gauge from we heard this recently twice now, and we heard this all the way last year as well, that the production wants to test the waters. This is verbatim from a source. Production wants to test the waters and see if the public will enjoy multiple forms. So that's quite interesting. And once you take out that production members wanted this out there to see the public reaction, stuff like that. And we'll talk about it in 2 reasons why maybe that's interesting, why that wasn't a good thing. Go ahead.
Yeah, well, it is an interesting bit of news. The first season had so many, reactions that's all over the place, so I can kind of understand that they were wanting to gauge these things. But I don't know. I'm just a random guy on the internet who likes Tolkien, and that's it.
Yeah.
So this is just my opinion. But I do feel like I would prefer if they were just more upfront and kind of more direct with their marketing and their approach to everything. Again, compared to, for example, House of the Dragon, which is way more upfront with all these things. And I don't know. It feels, why do all of this? I can kind of understand the motivation behind it, but it just still feels like something that didn't have to happen. Like, we know, like, fans know that there might be a different version. Fans expect to see actually at least one more version of Sauron, which is like this Anatar or Anatar like figure. So why gauge anything? Because first of all, we as fans expect this. People who are casual viewers, they are going to be surprised. We kind of realize that Sauron does have this ability to change shapes in the first season. Like, why I just don't see the point of it. But I guess, like, they had the logic behind it, so I don't know. I don't know. I think if it wasn't, I don't think it was necessary. I would prefer if they were just more upfront and above the board with everything, because we want engagement. We want to hear fun stuff. Like, get the people out, show us some interviews, like, give us the good stuff. Come on, why the secret? Like, we are here to watch this show. You don't have to hide from us.
And it's weird that we ended up being used as a way to get this information out there, and it seems like whoever released the Celeborn and Sauron stuff was the other thing. And one thing we want to be careful about is that that it could easily be the case where, for example, directors like Charlotte Brandstrom, or like some of the producers, like even the head like Jennifer Salke, people like this, they might have had no clue about this. It could just be, it seems like, from what it seems to us, just a group of people in production that just wanted to somehow get this out there and see reaction. So again, it could have been from the people at the top, but also at the same time, it could have been, it seems like it is just people that Amazon didn't even know this was happening, but a section of production, we just don't know where exactly. Just
Yeah,
and by the way,
and we're
that
not going to speculate on that because
yeah,
that's not the part
yeah,
we are
that is
interested
not
in.
the
So
part.
who knows?
And yeah, and there are countless crew members like stunned and so like what the hell? Everybody thought that Gaby was Sauron. Everybody thought Celeborn Sauron was happening. That is why from April to we heard this first in April, and there's a reason why we released it in December. So yeah, it just took so long. We had so many different reports, and we did get to a point where we were quite confident that literally everyone around us was saying, "Yeah, this is the case." But so many people were fooled, and it's then what we found out in our report, which you can check out on our site, that yep, Amazon are trying to gauge. Well, production members, you should say, are trying to gauge. We're trying to gauge the public's reaction to
So
it,
we can
and
maybe phrase it like this. So
yeah,
some people who work in Amazon's production of the Rings of Power
yeah,
were trying to gauge this thing. It might be
purposefully,
someone here, someone here, someone here, or someone
yeah,
here. We don't know.
yeah,
So
yeah,
don't quote us
and
on that. Like we're not pointing fingers towards
yeah,
anybody because we don't know. It's not really something that we are too
yeah.
interested in.
And
But
by the
yeah,
way, we just want to say
it is what it is.
and it went to quite far levels because we were even sent AI um, concept art. Do you remember that? And there's a chance, I'm not sure yet whether that's going to be included in the report, but we did get sent that as well. That's how high people in the production were given AI concept art of all this, thinking it was true. That just shows like, you know, how crazy
Yeah, I mean,
how crazy this whole
again,
thing was. Yeah,
to still have some reservation though. We don't know
yeah,
who
yeah.
made this
Yeah, we don't know who.
artwork, so
Yeah,
it might be a friend of a friend of a friend
yeah,
of someone who works in Amazon production, and then
yeah,
maybe we bumped into them, and then they randomly gave us this just troll, or like who knows. So we're not
yeah,
saying that.
yeah.
Also, we're not saying that they did or didn't. Someone from the
At least the
production did this
person who
artwork and
sent
sent it
this
out. Like
stuff
we
to
don't
us,
know,
yeah, the
but
person
the
who sent this
person,
stuff to us
yeah,
was not aware that they had been pretty much like maybe it was just like a yeah, friend of friend that just
yeah,
happened somewhere. And that's the second part of the statement where it talks about yeah, is it to catch out people who were leaking the crew. That was part of this as well. So all the people who got told about Gavi Sauron, yeah, it's something that's going to have to wait and see what happens. And also one thing we want to say, the reason why I feel like I'm sad that the production members decided to do this was because of course the reaction that the Gavi Sauron thing especially got. And one thing we want to say is that this is not we reached out to Gavi's team and his publicist and manager about a month and a half before we release it. Tell them we're going to release it. If you don't want us out, we won't release it. But we're notifying you that on this date we're going to release it. So we Gavi did have over a month update around it. So it wasn't just like a surprise that out of nowhere he was saying we had given him the update and also the chance to like if we didn't want it out, we didn't want it out. But so yeah, we did give him, but still the stuff he faced online is just a bit like, of course, some that is still, of course, on us. So we, of course, we do apologize for
yeah,
everything that, of course, some of the stuff you receive, and also it shows that the moment a brown guy gets cast as a as a villain, it looks like the whole half the world just goes crazy. So yeah, it just showed that as well. That down the line now, if for Carter Choice to just see the reaction of that would have gotten if Gary was indeed Sauron. So yeah, but from what we understand, we have again tried to reach out to him and stuff like that. So give apologies and all that stuff. So we are doing our our utmost to yeah apologize, and we did again. We like to make it out there that we did email. We reached out a month and a half before the release, so he was well aware that this was coming out. Not it wasn't just out of nowhere, but it's
yeah,
still but yeah, of course, it's very sad that we got this wrong because we planned so much into doing. I know we just had, and again, I hope at least the journey of it was fun. But again, it's really sad that it's wrong. But now going forward, because again, the
Yeah,
most important thing though here, we
yeah.
were able to re-report and disregard our own scoop. It wasn't like someone else has gone out and done it. We were able to hold our hands up and say, we've understand there's been something going on behind the scenes in the production. We might have been caught out. We did. That's why again this investigation took so long, and you're seeing the report itself and the episode afterwards. That's why this took so long, but we were able to now rectify the situation. He is playing a character that we, from a group of people we didn't see in season one. There were reports that he could have been in Tenerife, but again, that's from all the way back a year ago. So we're not going to formally report that because he also was reported to be on the London sets, which ended up clearly um, not being true, at least on the Irregular set. So yeah. Again, of course, we're going to still carry on uh, releasing information, but of course now we have these stronger sources, which we much appreciate. And of course, yes, Friday we did get this one wrong, but in fashion it was still great that we were able to reconfirm and get double confirmation for all of this different type of stuff, whilst also finally putting to bed some of this stuff as well. So, and then of course the one
Yeah.
we got wrong.
Uh,
So it's just, of course, we're going to learn from this. We know that the system, how we get leaks and how we verify them, it does work, but it is penetrable. It did clearly happen, but
I
it
mean,
does,
come on.
yeah,
We are not paid professionals.
yeah.
Like
We're not paid
we
for,
all have our
yeah,
random lives, like doing
yeah,
all the like silly stuff we do in our own lives. Doing
hmm
we are a group of people on the internet from like almost all the continents
yeah,
of like a very there's like a very large variety of like age and like ethnicity
clearly,
and background and like all geographical locations so on, and it is something we are doing in our spare time because it's interesting to us.
yeah.
And yeah, I mean, I wish I was paid by Amazon to.
And
I
I
wish
feel
I
like
was financially supported by Amazon. That would solve a
that,
lot of issues.
yeah,
It will solve a lot of issues in my life. But I think
yeah,
this is a pretty good way to actually showcase that hey, one of our biggest leaks
yeah,
turned out to be wrong. And I mean, and again, there's nothing wrong with that because again, we are a group of just bodies on the internet trying to do something interesting for us, and then we are also
yeah.
just sharing it with everybody else who wants to listen.
Hmm.
So yeah, the only thing I'm actually supremely sorry about is I put so much effort into that poem
Oh
for our community
yeah.
that was like, "Hey, I am
uh,
Sauron. I'm Anatar." And then I mean, it wasn't just me. We had like this whole collaboration
yeah,
within our group, like with the visuals, with like the planning stuff, with like the social handling the social media. Like it was such a huge team effort to make it like this really cool Christmas gift. Um, so it's kind of shame that it ended up being wrong, but again, we're just doing this for fun, and while we do take it seriously, as serious as one can take something like this, it's something that happens.
hmm,
And yeah, I think it's cool that we managed to actually catch this before
yeah.
it went out in some other way. So it's good. I think we
You
managed to
actually, yeah, you
get
touched actually a
ahead
really
of
good
it a
point
bit,
because
and we
yeah,
are coming back to you to say all of this, and the fact that also we don't know who exactly he is playing, but it seems to point towards him perhaps being somewhere in the Eastern storyline.
hmm,
Yeah, we can see, but
yeah. No, I'm
yeah,
saying you actually touched a really good point in that. Um, this happens in every production, by the way. Stuff like this and like stuff happening behind the scenes, and the fact we're able to catch this up before there's even a trailer came out was still pretty impressive. And
good. It's good.
thanks to all the sources who helped us with this. Thanks to everyone on the team, Vegetable fans, who were able to do this long investigation, put it all together. And again, I'm just showing on screen right now. Yeah, all the effort. Thanks to our girl Kyle, amazing work, just doing all this, that assets and everything.
Yeah, I mean,
That's a big bummer of it because how
mhm,
much? Because
yeah,
again, yeah, the reason being was because Amazon was basically doing nothing for about a year and a bit. So like, why not just have a bit of fun? Engage a community, like getting a bit down a bit. So hopefully now from now on there'll be more stuff coming out. And I just want to add on one thing. Yeah, you're right. From what you said before, that it would be more weird if if we got every single thing right instead of having like one or two things wrong. Because if we had every single thing right, then yeah, it kind of starts to the rumors that if we do work for Amazon or get sent information from Amazon. So yeah, it is.
I mean,
I hope that puts that stuff. I always laugh in the videos and they just go like, yeah,
yeah, that's why my headphones are like this busted. Yeah, because I work for Amazon.
yeah. Yeah, it's like yeah, just
That's
it's
so
funny, but I mean, having and it's good having this transparent video as well. So yeah,
yeah, it's good. But
make
yeah,
yes,
like another maybe another shout out to everybody who we have this big team of like a group, like it's like a big group of fellow fans. And yeah, like a lot of people put the effort into revealing this bit of news. It turned out to be wrong, but still, a lot of people put a lot of effort in it from their
yeah,
free time, just as people who like Tolkien. And it ended up being wrong, but it does not diminish the work that was put into this. And also,
mhm,
just like honestly, this whole uh, let's call it business or whatever process
yeah,
of assembling. So there's like, these random people on the internet that we find in one way or another, and talking to them and then just like cross-referencing like 15 different things in like four different chats from four different people who talk in different ways. And like, how when you're texting with your mom, your best friend, your girlfriend, and like some other, I don't know, colleague, everybody has like a different way of talking and like how they share their texts and so on. And it's like a very kind of it's a job that requires a lot of like brain power to actually process all these things and kind of put them together into like a puzzle that fits and makes sense. So yeah, the fact that we got just this one wrong,
yeah,
I'm fine with that.
hmm
It's a really good rating, so I'm good with that.
yeah. No, I agree and agree. And if you want, both sorry, I'll put even the title of it on screen right now, and this is the page of the report, which has everything. So we've already touched a little bit into what the full case was, and everything's discussed and outlined there. So make sure to check that report out, and yeah, you'll be interested to see how this all ended up happening as well, which is quite funny. And again, it is again one thing we don't want to say that everybody in Amazon was in on behind that was not the case. It's not the
No,
biggest thing in the world. It was just it seemed like there was a section or group of people in production that maybe even Amazon did, the higher ups didn't know about, that were trying to gauge reactions, the public's reactions to multiple forms of
it
Sauron.
could be
So
anyone, is what it was. So
yeah,
someone somewhere that started
so
this.
yeah,
We don't know who, what, or why exactly, but we cannot completely guarantee
yeah,
this is because of this and that. But
yeah. And yeah,
something
and
to
we can
have in mind.
confirm
And
that
here we are.
lots of crew members were surprised as well. But we'll just have to we'll leave that there now. It's been nearly an hour, so thanks, Ryder, for doing this with me. It was a lot of fun.
Yeah, thank you, and thanks for everybody tuning in. Thanks for everybody
Yeah,
sharing their comments, theories, any kind of engagement, as long as it was respectful. Thank you for
yeah.
that.
And I
And
guess
looking forward to hearing maybe some new theories now that this is out of the way. I'm curious to hear other theories that will spawn from this. So yeah,
yeah, and I feel like the one
thank
thing
you,
we
and
should
thank you as
reiterate,
well.
no, for sure, for sure. And one thing we should finally reiterate is that there is still a form of Sauron in a region in season 2. So that's what we'll leave you with. There is still Sauron in a region. So that's quite interesting. But yep, of course this also means we'll be releasing scoops and stuff like that again now. So that period of not posting is longest, the longest I think we've ever gone without posting a scoop as well. So yep, and we'll be live this Friday as well. I don't think Strider you won't be there because you're gonna be gone for the week,
I'll be
but
away.
you'll be
Yeah,
joining us the months after, I'm sure, for
yeah, of
that
course.
as well. And so yeah, see you then, and we'll answer your questions basically. Because again, I'm guessing you guys can tell this is not live, so we'll be answering all your questions to this. So yeah, thank you guys, and yep, see you in the next one.
Until the next time.